Hey everybody, it is Mighty Mike. What is up? Coming at you again with another mag review. Circus, 1987, January 31st, 1987 to be exact. And what we're going to be doing here, and this one goes out to JW. You know who you are, man. And we appreciate you as always hanging in there and being a regular guest and checking in on the channel. I like to play some of the, of course, 80s tunes in the background here to get the party started. And if you got them, raise them high. Let's salute Money Mike on vacay for a little bit here, so I'll be hanging out with you for a while and enjoying the scene. I like doing these mag reviews. I like pulling them out and just seeing, what was going on back in the day. It's not like, today you got the internet. You can just obviously pull things up, see who's in concert, when they are, where they are, which is great and everything, but nothing beat a Friday night at the mall, picking up your favorite cassette, your magazine, and whatever else you were grabbing at that time. But let's be real. This was great. There was no internet. You didn't have your cell phone. So what you did is you went to your local record store. You picked up these magazines, your records, your tapes, and that's what you found out how things were out there. You didn't know what was coming up next unless you had one of these magazines. You looked at them, Circus, Hit Parader, all those guys, Metal Edge, Faces. All of those. And basically that's how you learned out with the new bands that were up and coming. And if you were a guitarist, a drummer, or any sort of musician at the time, you were into it. You were really into it. You wanted to find out what they were playing, how they played it. They had the tablature in the backs of these magazines. So, if you were in a cover band at the time, a lot of us were. And when we were into all this stuff, you got to pick up some of those notes that you couldn't figure out by ear. But in any case, this is just for the love of it. For the love of it. So I have these magazines, and from time to time I like to pull them out and kind of just rehash the good old days, So if you got them, raise them high. Let's get a little party going here on a terrific Tuesday. Alright, so let's start it off here. Looks like we got the man himself. And I probably don't have to say who it is, but if you don't know, that's Eddie Van Halen on that Harley right there. And of course, one of his favorite guitars, probably his favorite guitar brand of all time, was the Kramer, of course, well known for all his 5150 stuff and that sort of thing. But in this shot right here, it looks like he's got the SM1. Another great guitar, the American-made SM1. So, again, we're going to get into this, and if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen this before, from time to time we do these 80s rock magazines. And we got the tunes playing in the background. We can create a little party here. Leave your comments at the end of the video, and, let me know what you think. And I like to get back in touch with you guys and, go back and forth. And we'll try to do these mag reviews once a month here. And we're going to be moving on to doing some actually older Guitar World magazines from back in the 80s too. So we're going to be going on to that next, but we're going to finish up with this one. And hopefully we'll get some more going here soon in regards to Circus, Hit Parader, those types of mags. But here we go. We're going to start it off. There you go. There's your shot. And we'll be moving on here and see what we got on the inside. Alright, let's see here. Nothing but a good time, baby. This video was all over the place back in the day. Don't you remember? Come home from school. They had that call-in line on MTV. This was everywhere. And that's what we're celebrating here. All the good times, all the good stuff. That's when rock was definitely cool and ruled the world. It really did. It really did. On the front cover here, or the inside cover, let's see if we can give it a shot. Remember Keel? Keel was definitely the stuff back in the day. They're promoting PV. They were big fans of it. You got Mark Ferrari right here using his PV Vandenberg, which was a hot guitar at the time. It's an up close look at that PV in the guys back in the day. Alright, there's your inside cover. And what I like to go on to next is just to give you an overview of what was going on, and there's your proof. These mags are still in great condition. I just so happened to hold on to them from move to move, and I kept on, you know, a good chunk of them, but did lose some in transit, that sort of thing. And you know, I'd like to go ahead and pick some up from back in the day, and if you have any and you want to send them my way, you can get in touch with me and I'll do the reviews on them. I'm very familiar with that scene back in the day, instruments at that time, what was going on, the whole scene as it was. So if you want me to go over these, I really do love doing them. Not a problem there, so we'll figure it out somehow, some way. But let's go over the table of contents here and the cover story. At the time, January 31st, 1987, you got the White Snake special issue with David Coverdale coming back hot on the scene. You got the band, the White Snake history, and under features here, you got the Poison poster in the middle, so we'll take a look and see what's going on with that. You got Aerosmith Rush, rest in peace the Professor. Yes, Neil Peart. God bless, one of the best drummers of all time, probably the best drummer of all time in my opinion. You got Dokken. Currently you got a lot of stuff going on with Don Dokken. At the time, he right now had spinal surgery, and he's lost both feeling in both hands at this point. So he does play guitar in the band and has, and he's saying right now that he's definitely not able to do that whatsoever. This was supposed to be one of the better surgeons, he said, and supposedly it just didn't work out for him. He did lose both feelings in both hands, and I don't know how that's going to affect his tour that's coming up, but that's yet to be said. So we wish him the best, and hopefully everything works out. And for Don Dokken there. Also here we got Great White. It looks like we got Guns N' Roses. Kiss. We got Kiss. Let's see here. These are like one of those heavy metal bands back in the day that you would see on Headbangers Ball. Both great bands in their own right. What else do we have here? Gangrene, Crumbsuckers, Sacred Reich, Sacrifice, Hallows Eve, The Exploited, Death, and DBC. So that was some of the heavier stuff that you were seeing at the time back in '87. Going on, some of the other concerts that they have. Let's let you take a quick look there too. Alright, so you have Bachman Turner Overdrive, Bad Manners, Brats, Circle Jerks, Def Leppard, Dio, of course, and they have tons of tour dates, as you can see right there. Let's see, you had Kiss. They were all over the place. Another one that you could see all over the place back in the day. We had our shot of Steve Vai there, so. Let's get a shot of that. There's your heavy hitters for a penny. Remember that? You don't want to get sucked into that. Jeez, that could have been a nightmare. But look at the bands that they had at the top on cassette right there. What are you looking at? Poison, look what the cat dragged in. White Snake. You got the Dio cassette. Motley Crue's Girl, Girl, Girl. Alright, you got Aerosmith and Garage Days from Metallica. Yeah, those were the cassettes that were rocking the scene. Alright. For you drummers out there, Ludwig, definitely a classic that was still on the scene for sure. And then here you go. This is pretty interesting, and this is why I like doing this stuff, because as a guitar player myself, at the time, Guild wasn't really known for a heavy metal guitar type of setting. They kind of veered off from that. Wasn't their forte. All right. With this at the time, you had this one that came out, and kind of, you know, everybody was into those types of guitars at the time. Super Strats, you know, they were called Super Strats. Kramer, Ibanez, all those guys, and the guys that weren't really making those guitars kind of veered into them. You know, even Fender, you know, they had their Strats at the time, Super Strats that were out there, and Guild was no exception. They got into the game too. This one was called the Burnside. This one actually used standard EMG pickups, so they used the EMG Select pickups, which was a lower line. So it won't be like an 81 and an 85 in there, but still a really cool guitar. And if anybody, you know, does have one of these and sees the video, I'll be curious to see. It looks like it's got a Kahler on it too, Kahler trim. Just let me know what you think of it if you do have it. I'm just interested. Alright, and you got this one right here, Telex, for wireless mics. ProStar series. Wasn't too familiar with this, but again, like I said, a lot of stuff came out from different companies. It looks like they had interchangeable heads on these things. Pretty interesting. Alright, so I like to get into this section right here. Best-selling albums at the time. Alright. So, number one, you had Michael Jackson, Bad. Whitesnake was right underneath that, believe it or not. This is the top 20. Various artists from the Dirty Dancing cassette that came out at the time, I guess you would want to say. Pink Floyd, Momentary Lapse of Reason. Then you had Bruce Springsteen, Tunnel. Def Leppard came in at number 6 with Hysteria. You had Sting, R.E.M., John Cougar Mellencamp. Aerosmith with Permanent Vacation. Whitney Houston, U2. Various artists from the La Bamba soundtrack. You had Yes, Kiss, Crazy Nights. It was a good album. A lot of people didn't like it, but I really did. You have Heart, Leonard Skinner, Fleetwood Mac, Rush, Hold Your Fire, and Billy Idol. So, there you go. Best-selling albums at the time. Alright. And here we go. We got some Seymour Duncan pickups. Active pickups. Started to become the rave at the time. You got some. You got a question here. You could fill out and send in. Shot at Ted Nugent on the road once again. He was opening it up for Kiss at that point. And this is before you could start ordering things, you know, online. So you filled out these ads, sent them in with a check or whatever, and then you got your merchandise after. Here you go, spandex pants. Did you need some spandex pants at the time? $25 would have got you a set. All right. Now let's see what else I got going here. Alright, so you do have Rush on tour. And let's see. Tesla was in there. Yeah, we mentioned that. And again, more with these active pickups, which I was talking about. They were really the rage, and you got EMG, of course, right there. I think I'd be dumbfounded if you found one of these magazines that didn't have an add-in for one of those guys at the time. EMG, Seymour Duncan. Here's the man of the hour at the time, Joe Elliott, Def Leppard. Again, going to be on tour with Motley Crue for this Stadium 2020 tour here with Poison and Joan Jett. Should be a really great one. Tickets are going to be a little pricey, so that's going to be up to you to decide whether it's going to be worth it or not. They're going to be close to where I'm coming, so